Beliefs offer us an insight into our past lives. Beliefs remind us of what we once were capable of achieving, the life we were once capable of living. However, with the seasonality with our soul, this demands fluidity, it demands flexibility and change. At some point, the soil of our soul is stifled, moved, uprooted for change, for new dimensions, for new plateaus, for a new capacity to live and to create and to be. And in these moments of up-leveling, of changing, of growing, we are confronted, or we are faced with our beliefs, which are our connection with the past, and we have to decide as a willing and active participant in this creative and transformative process whether we wish to act upon these beliefs, whether we wish to put our attention, to feed our attention to these beliefs, whether we continue to ruminate on them and to ultimately rely on them. And there is an emptiness, a void, a fear in that, because without the belief, without that parameter to exist within, we are faced with a broad landscape where we have to make sense out of, where we have to figure out new landscape, this new plateau, or else retreat back down the mountain into the comfortable parameter of our previous beliefs rooted in a past familiar and known and comfortable and ultimately safe. And it is important that we face these beliefs, that we look at them, that we experience them, and that we decide as an active participant what we do with this, how we respond to this, how our actions reflect our response to this, whether we hide, whether we retreat, or whether we continue to go up the mountain, periodically facing and releasing beliefs that are ultimately reminders of and memories of the past. They are memorizations of the past beliefs. They are cues as to what you were once capable of, though they are not indicative of what you are capable of now. And this is important and requires faith in oneself to act beyond the parameters of the past, where you once felt familiar, at home and safe, but you were ultimately called to climb up the mountain to reach a noble view of the world and of oneself. And this requires looking at our old self. It requires a recognition of the difference that is emerging, all the space that is emerging. And there's a natural vote of encouragement in who you are as you begin to see that space. You are experiencing encouragement in the sense that you are expanding, growing, reaching new heights because of your efforts and your essence and your expanding capacity and vision. And it's important to take encouragement from that, as it is a vote of confidence in your ability to climb the mountain, to experience greater heights, and to take in greater views. So shedding of these layers ultimately is key. To climb the mountain, we have to become lighter and lighter, so we're not burdened with the weight that pulls us down. And we have to periodically, over a period of time, begin to take layer and layer off. So we are lighter, so we are more nimble, and so we can climb more effectively towards higher aspects of ourselves, higher relationships, higher creative pursuits, higher environments, higher relationship with oneself, higher state of being in the present moment. And this will be a process. This will be a period of patience, of confrontation, of looking at those parts of us that no longer align with our truest and fullest capacity. And this takes time, this takes patience, this takes presence. And it is important in these moments to realize the dual nature of our work, both internally and externally, to realize that we are climbing the mountain from within and without, and that it is a dual process, not something that we can rush, force, or achieve just through material gains or effort. It requires to confront oneself within, to realize the difference between the past and the present, to realize your greater capacity now, and to decide ultimately what to then do with that greater capacity. Whether you're going to take new action to facilitate this growth, whether you're going to retreat into inaction. But the important message in this is that the new action comes from facing new aspects of yourself within. So you have a holistic approach to change and to transformation, rather than seeing transformation as something to be gained in the world. The world is a manifestation of the change you achieve within. Equally as important, but it is in communion with the inner work, with the inner revelation, with the inner work of letting go of layers or beliefs or memorizations or memories of the past, whether conscious or unconsciously we are relying on memories to guide us, whether in relationships or in business practices or in our daily lives or in our creative capacity. We are often relying on memories of who we once were to guide us through new directions, through new information and events in our lives, to remind us what we are capable of. But what if what you were capable of 5-10 years ago isn't aligned to what you're capable of now? And that is the case for many. And at that point you have to recreate new memories through new actions, through new ideas of oneself, through the realization of the newness, of the new expansiveness of oneself, for the greater landscape of oneself, for the fuller nature of oneself in this present moment compared to the more limited version in the past. We are all experiencing change. We are all growing towards something more indicative of our fuller nature, of our holistic nature. And some of us don't want to accept that change. For some, for all, it is difficult to accept that change. The memories of the past become romanticized. They're easy to become. They have to become forms of addiction in a way. Dependency is a good word. As you become comfortable with the memories of who we once were. And this is a challenge for everyone. It is letting go of the romanticization, of the dependency, of the memories of who we once were, and experiencing the grief of the death of those memories as we mourn the memory of who we once were, of what we once were able, of how we once were living, and to accept, like the seasonality of our soul and the seasonality of earth, that things come and they go, and things die and things are born, and things change and things flow. And to accept with grace through presence this ebbing and flowing of our natural state, and to recognize the right when the moment is right to let go of the memories of the past, when we are called to from within to act in a new way, to act in a different way, to act in a fuller way. And this is ultimately the message of this video, is to address this motion of change, this gesture, to recognize this gesture within that suggests of a desire for a fuller life, a desire to live full and whole in the present moment, away from memories of the past, and to recreate new landscapes and new visions and a new life. And with that, good luck. Bye.